Yo, what is going on YouTube? Gonna be honest, kind of trolled and forgot to do the intro for this video, and now I'm sitting here in the Airbnb at the college Halo playoffs. So, this is a banger episode. You guys should watch. We get to sit down with Yak and talk about his coming up to be a pro and getting to play with Envy and how it felt to get third at Worlds. So yeah, get into the video. Thanks for the support as always.
Quigley is part of the SuperPods network. You can find SuperPods on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Patreon, and Twitter at _SuperPods. You can also join our Discord at discord.gg/SuperPods. Thank you for your continued support, and happy listening.
What is going on, everybody? We are super excited to be back with another week of the Quigley podcast. And this week, we get to sit down with none other than Yak himself, the GOAT from Envy. Banksy, lead us off. What do we want to get into this week?
I mean, honestly, I want to know more about you. From what you can obviously look online and right, we can see your accolades themselves, let alone this year. Amazing job, by the way. You killed it. Loved it. But let's start from the beginning. Is Halo Infinite like your first Halo?
No. Actually, as a kid, I was always on Halo 3 with my friends. Mostly playing Forge custom games, that all the shit the kids did back in the day, like Duck Hunt, Trash Compactor, all that stuff. But yeah, that Halo 3 was my first actual Halo, but I didn't start competing until Halo Infinite.
What stopped you? Was it your I know you're not old, but was it your age that technically stopped you from actually competing?
Oh yeah, for sure. I was probably I was probably 9, so I wasn't ready yet, obviously.
Yeah, Ben can't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, Halo 5 was the first for me, or 4, I guess, but I didn't really play much 4. I don't think anybody did, so.
I don't think anyone did, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your Halo Infinite kind of period. You start off on a lot of AM teams, right? You're hitting Darkest Hour. You're going through, and Ben probably doesn't know these names when I'm saying them, but bouncing through Ascent Baseline, TLF, I believe as well.
I know a few of those names.
How does
team with
that
Kratos
feel?
for an event.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
When he was on the out the door, I teamed with Kratos for an event. That was an experience.
Does playing those playing on those AM teams in that environment, does that actually set you up for the success that you had going into it, being on, for one, Luminosity for a short period there, and then going on to Envy? Does that those AM teams there set you up for success, or would you say it's more grit and grind from yourself?
I would say it's a little bit of both. Honestly, when you're going through the AM scene, unfortunately a lot of the players, they're good at some things, but not so great at others.
Right.
So I've always preached to other AMs that I'm friends with, if they want to get better, make it out, that while you're an AM, you need to become as best all-around player as you can, and like work on your game individually super hard, but also if you really want to make it out without like, getting a shot like early on or getting lucky, you got to become very vocal and like become that leader on your team and teach your teammates how to play correctly. Obviously in a good way. Don't like yell at them and stuff like me. I yelled at them, but maybe yell at them. I don't know. But you gotta like pretty much do it all. If you really want to go to the top and like move up, you have to become a complete player, and on top of that, become an IGL and like understand how the top teams play, and try and teach your teammates how to play like that. So yeah, it's a little bit of both for sure.
You talk about like trying to teach your teammates and getting into that mindset of the IGO. Did you feel like that was kind of the role that you took kind of when you were on these different teams moving between? Do you think you were kind of leading everything?
100%. I've always been kind of vocal about like what we need to do, or what the meta is, and I watch a lot. I watch about the same amount of Halo as I play. Like I don't really watch TV shows or anything of that. I just, when I get off Halo, I watch Halo Twitch streams, and that really helped me get better also, like watching the best players and just copying them. Just a copycat league. Just like COD players, if you want to get good at COD, you watch the best COD players, It's all the same.
Yeah, that makes sense. Look, we heard you kind of say that you started with Halo 3. I feel like everybody has like that, and I know I'm taking us back, but everybody has that like introduction to Halo, right? Everybody has that reason why they chose Halo over something else. Do you have any sort of like a person or a moment where like you decided, Halo's the game for me, or something that led you to choose Halo over another game to really grind?
Well, I didn't really choose Halo. After Halo 3, when I got a little older, I was like a COD kid for like a long time. I like grinded COD, I was like a S&D kid, played Respawn, and then I actually ended up like going to college eventually, and I stopped gaming like completely. Like I just focused on school, having fun, college experience. And then towards the end of college, it slows down a little bit. And Halo Infinite came out, and I was like, damn, dude, this game is insanely fun. Like, and I'd known about Halo obviously because, as a kid and teen, I played it. But I played Halo Infinite. I was like, dude, this is a great competitive game. Like, it almost reminded me of like old school COD with shields. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try and, compete in this game. I really enjoy it. So that was kind of the moment. Just like when it dropped, I was like, damn.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I feel that. I guess we also talked about like what kind of your mindset of going through the open bracket and starting up and reaching the point where you're at now. Was there ever like a moment where you just felt like you just maybe it really wasn't going to work out, or a moment where you kind of thought there was going to need to be a change or something like that, or have you been like dead set? This is where I'm going to be. This is what it's going to be. I mean, just how did that process go? Your walk through starting, because nobody walks into the scene and just walks on main stage for the first event. Everybody comes from those open brackets, especially nowadays. How was that, just starting out and moving to where you are now?
It was really tough. I definitely had a couple moments where I had self-doubt, and I didn't really think, I could really do it, and this wasn't for me, and, I have a degree, I'll just go get a job, blah, 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 like self-pity. But, like, I had good friends, and they kept telling me, you have really good talent, and you have a ferocious mental, like, you just want to win, and just keep going, don't stop. And eventually, it's usually you have those self-doubt moments after you like get dropped or something, something of that nature. So I used to always get scapegoated a lot, get dropped off these AM teams, and then I'd leave, join another AM team, beat the old AM team, talk a lot of shit.
Yes.
And then that self-doubt went away. I was like, yeah, these guys are dumb. They just don't know what they're talking about. And then eventually, it just went away. That self-doubt, and I just knew what I wanted to do. It was get to the top.
I respect that.
I love that answer, honestly. Because self-doubt's probably like the biggest thing in esports that a lot of people don't think about going in, right? They're like, I'm gonna compete. I'm especially like in Call of Duty and Halo being probably the most prominent arena shooters that just have like this kind of crazy amp scene, and a lot of people don't think that self-doubt is there. And I mean, looking at your journey when it comes to, like you said, getting dropped and then getting on another AM team and then slamming the one that dropped you, that's probably one of the greatest feelings to AM players. But with in the AM scene, we'll talk about the pro scene comp, but in your AM scene time, was there a team that either gave you the hardest time in like pool play or bracket, or a player that gave you the hardest time in pool play and bracket?
Like in the open bracket.
Yeah, when you're on these AM teams before you're getting top 3 in worlds.
Funny enough, like actually the Australians.
Really?
Like yeah, the old Australian team with when they didn't have barcode yet. The Australians always gave me a hard time. I was literally slamming everyone in open bracket for like, especially after I left my buddies at like my first Darkest Hour team with like Grand Shiesty and them. Like
Yeah.
whenever I left and joined Chris Common, we were just slamming everyone in open bracket for like 6 events straight. Which I'm kind of pissed off. Like they didn't give me like a open bracket nomination. Like I was like the OG open bracket kid that made it through, but it's whatever. But
Right.
definitely the Australians, bro. They were always giving me a hard time, me and my teams. But other than that, we always played pretty. Open bracket was pretty easy towards the end.
Is there a team?
A player?
Oh, a player. You got a player? Your eyes lit up.
Ooh. Dude, honestly, I can't gas anyone up like that. I don't know.
Nobody was good enough to give him any trouble. Yeah.
Nobody.
Oh, looking at it, I mean, you have this Envy squad. You like a really very good squad that you had here. Is there anybody from like your old team or any of your old teams that you think could that didn't make it into the pro teams that could maybe get up there and compete with the likes of like Envy or Optic in a sense?
Probably, I mean, probably just, I think Haynes, I mean, he was technically, like, he was getting, like, he had a top 12,
Yeah.
like, a couple top 16s, but I think Haynes definitely could have gone further, for sure.
I actually love like hearing that, because a lot of people don't realize when you're up and coming, right? Like you didn't just get on Envy and make this run. Like you didn't wake up one day and get that call. A lot of people don't realize how many people you actually play with. There, especially in amps, like there's just a lot of teams that you can make and create. And I think it's, especially in Halo, I mean, Halo feels like there's a new AM team around the corner every time.
I actually, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't play with that many. I played with my Grand Shiesty Tricky SRO OG Darkest Hour team for like a whole year, just trying to get them better, and that was mostly because I felt like we were just homies and we fucked with each other. So I was kind of thankful for that. I didn't have to bounce around too much. But after that was over, I definitely bounced around a little bit for like a couple months, and then I ended up with that Chris Common Haynes team, and then I kind of stuck with them also for the whole year. So I didn't really have the prototypical like bounce around, thankfully. But it definitely happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's insane the amount of people that get just. I mean, it's after every event. Some people, it's new team.
Yep.
Let's see.
Not the way to go.
It isn't. It isn't actually, because I mean, unless it's like 2008 and you're Formal who drops all his rosters anyways and then goes to the next one, like it's just not the same league anymore. Coming up, obviously, like you said, you took that break from just playing video games. You went to college. Coming up at the beginning of Halo Infinite in that era, who did you watch the most? I know you said you watch as much Halo as you play it, Is there like a player you watch that like consistently to try to like learn and develop yourself from?
Early Infinite, I watched a lot of like Spartan actually. Watched a lot of Spartan. I really liked how he played early Infinite. He was a very good teammate. I also watched a lot of Penguin. I like to watch a lot of really good like teammate players that help like are just the best teammates they can be. So Penguin, um, watched a lot of Frosty, Lucid. Obviously, Lucid very smart about the game. Trying to think who else. Obviously, Formal. Like everyone watches Formal.
Right.
He's fun to watch. He doesn't miss. And then trying to think of a sleeper. Oh, Hammy. What is his gamer tag? He was an old H5 pro, early Infinite. He streamed a lot. Can't remember his gamer tag, unfortunately, but I know his name is Hammy.
He's a shooter.
He's a shooter.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I actually like this Spartan shout out. With how, especially with how his career has gone, with his rosters over the Spartan shout out's really cool. And we're lucky enough to play him in college Halo, so we'll get slammed by him in college Halo.
I think I see him this weekend.
That's true. They are going to be at the college Halo land. So
nice.
Wait, when did you graduate college?
2023.
2023. Okay, so would have been too far gone to see the college Halo scene.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Now, obviously, there are only two pros that are in college Halo, and that's Sparty and Last Shot. Knowing how your transition through AMs to pros and everything, do you think modern esports, could college esports be a path to pro to get someone ready, or you think it's too soon to tell?
I think right now there's just like not enough like talent, which is like super unfortunate because I wish there was. Like that would be amazing to have a path through college where honestly I just don't think, and I know you guys are college Halo guys, so
Just say it. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Rip the Band-Aid off.
I just don't think like a lot of the Halo pros really respect the college scene for like their talent, because there's not enough of those college kids that like go. I don't even know if they just don't go to these events or if they just don't really put the time in, but there's not enough names that come out of the college circuit into like the top of the open bracket or into pool play for them to be like, yeah, there's a path there yet.
Yeah. I know it is. It's definitely I know, like me and Ben, we do a lot of it. We do the content. We love seeing all the sides of it. Like he said at the beginning, we're here for the vibes kind of deal. But when you're looking at the college scene, I want to say, like, when we're looking at top AMs, I mean, that they've never made. I don't think Mayski's made it out of open bracket that I know of. Zoom Doctor, he was on Quals. Yeah, he was on Quals for Worlds at Charlotte, and then of course you got Last Shot and Sparty. But Sparty didn't start in college Halo. I think he picked it up. Is where he lands. But it is definitely far and few between. 100%. I think it'd be cool if more just put the effort in. But I think effort's where it lands.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think on that same note, I think you also have to think about like where people, because we have had college Halo players in the past who have like gone to events and tried to compete in things. I know some of the Clemson kids have been to a few. I know Oklahoma. I think it was OSU for like a while there. Half their team was going to like every event a few years ago. Nazcast is always at events. So I mean, I feel like there's some players that are trying at least. I think on the side of trying to make it actually like from college to pro level, you would almost have to see like a full squad from a college team kind of try to be at every event, and I feel like that's just like a funding thing, you know, like the school would have to be willing to kind of jump in on that and keep them funded to be able to go. You know what I mean? A lot of these kids are coming out of college, they're not having jobs, they're not having ways to come to these events and things. Not to say that it would change anything of the outcome. I don't know if they would necessarily win anything, but you know, being able to at least get there. I mean, if they're shooting against Yak round 1, I don't think they're making it round 2. You know what I mean?
They're not playing me in open bracket. They don't got to worry about me.
I will say we've had some unlucky when we go, for some reason when we go into these online events. For example, I know Ben has like the worst luck. He's got round 1 against Cloud9 one time. There was like some point like being against FaZe. Like we get the worst luck when we're like, yeah, let's go vibe with some college guys, and then we're on the Cloud. I think it was the Cloud9 the Open that they did, like the 5K. Their first match against Cloud9's on mainstream, and it's just a
good world story.
Just 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
there's
man.
a clip. There's a clip of me on Cloud9's Twitter where I just like fly out because I think I'm getting a kill and I fly off the map. Like it was.
But Cloud9 loves playing like they love trick shotting kids, bro. I can't believe like we take it easy on people like that, bro. Like you don't be trick shotting like them.
No, they were good sports about it, but they did slam us. I mean,
it was funny. Definitely to experience that, but that's just our luck too. I mean, I think Ben's at Charlotte, their open bracket run. The first game they have to play is against Matriarch, who've been grinding to try to do something at Charlotte as the first women's team, and we were just a pickup squad, just for the vibes. That was a slammage too.
We had not practiced one time, and we walked into that with
dude, they've been grinding, yeah. They got a chip on their shoulder too. You already know.
They do.
Yeah, 100%. I kind of want to transition into, for you, would you say your first call up was that Luminosity, Ross, like that team to into the pro scene? Would you say that was like your first intro, or would it be something else?
No, it's definitely the Chris Common Haynes year.
Okay.
That was the first time I made it out, and I consistently made it out that year. I think I was pro at every event, except for I think I was pro at every event. So me, Common, and Haynes, and then we had a different fourth. Like we'd go to an event with like Mortally for an event, and then we'd have Onwar for an event. You know, and then we had Rami for an event. So it was just like 3 of us just grind. And then we had like Cherish for a couple weeks. And then, I don't know. But yeah, that was my introduction right there. And then the Luminosity squad, dude, that was kind of like I branched out on my own. You know, I kind of wanted to try my own thing. I had got the experience with them. And this kid, Avusi, I was like, he's pretty good. You know, I'm going to try and bring him under my wing. And I've played with Piggy before, thought Piggy was good, and then Mortally, I've always been decent friends with Mort, so I was like, let's try this squad out, see how it goes. It went good online, you know, went real good.
Yeah.
Obviously didn't go too well at LAN.
You guys had a rough matchup on LAN. I would say it was one of those things, for us, like me and Ben, and a lot of things, when we saw the squad, like Luminosity make the announcement, it's a big org, no matter what they're going through now as a business. Big org that comes into Halo. We were really excited. And just to see the roster that was made was very exciting, because it was like, what can shake up? Really what we looked for is like, what could shake up Halo Infinite, right? Outside of what happened this year in Roster Mania, where Optic thinks they're making a super team and all this, you know, last shot coming out on Shopify, like all that. Seeing that squad, we were excited, and I'm glad that you guys also got to keep going with Envy, because when I found out Luminosity wasn't a thing, I was like, son of a gun, man! Again, like
they could have been that thing still, but like we kind of just all went our separate ways. Like they kind of wanted to stay in.
Really?
But yeah, but we kind of just, you know, went our different ways. and then they didn't have anyone to build a team around, so they just got out.
That's on them. That's on them. That's one of those things where I think there was multiple events back to back. We had got a new like a new org introduced into Halo Esports, when it kind of felt dry for a year or two, where there wasn't like new orgs putting their eyes out here.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of felt like back to back. We got an event and then we lost them. We got an event and then we lost them. Envy, I would say, is that first intro back into Halo Esports where you guys stayed and honestly killed it. I mean, I would say continuous improvement. I don't know if you felt the same way event to event, but I do feel like you guys got continuous improvement there.
We definitely did.
Let's see. In your envy time, who would you say was your biggest headache?
Definitely TSM.
TSM.
They knocked us out of 2 lands this year.
You know what my favorite thing about you saying TSM was? Is
we beat them at Worlds?
Yes. Because the way we always talked, I mean, everybody talks about their big four, and everybody looks at it as always Optic, Space Station, FaZe, Shopify this year, right? That's how everybody looked at it. But a lot of people didn't talk about the people that could break through the wall, and you guys were one of them that could break through. I mean, you did. You broke right through it.
We should have broke through more. I'm not gonna lie, but we kind of choked a little bit, but it's all good.
I like the positivity, honestly. But you guys, we did a watch party for Worlds, and we all picked like our top 4. Do like whatever the host people do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we all kind of talked to. I think you guys are always on our list, and every time the conversation it was just like, who's going to show up when they were going to show up during your Worlds run. Like, how did that feel? I know you don't come out on top number 1, but like, how does it feel each series just kind of closer and closer, itching closer? Like,
we were kind of just defeating our demons, you know, like getting the monkey off our back, so to say. You know, we were in winners round 1, and we saw the bracket, and our eyes got big. Like, we play complexity winners round 1. Like, we've been slamming them the entire year, whether it's online or LAN. So we come out winners round 1. We actually had a warm-up scrim, but like it kind of got chalked. So I'm not gonna like blame that as to why we lost. We just didn't play again. But like we lost. We like the first time the entire year we lose to complexity, and like we kind of got slammed. So it was just like not like this, you know, like
right.
We're at Worlds, and now this is the time that we're not gonna like play up to our standard. So like after we lost to complexity, I kind of like we all just were like pissed, and like I just come out the next map, you know, just the energy kind of changed. Like shit got serious, and so we played we had a Kave losers round 1 now, and they'd beaten us at Arlington, and we've had like beef with them like for a while, and so I knew they were gonna go extremely hard. Like they wanted to beat us bad. So we come out, you know, and they played well against us, but like they played an angry Envy. So after we beat them, you know, I could have talked shit, but like it was all business. So we got that monkey off our back, you know, got a little revenge on them, at least for me. I haven't played them since they knocked me out in Arlington. And then I see TSM next in the bracket, and, you know, obviously a little, not doubt, but like, this is about to be a war. So we go into them, and I knew straight off map 1 that we were going to win that series. We were just playing, even though they won map 1, just like the way we were playing, like our worst map, Origin Flag, we were like playing it, and that's their best map, and like we played it pretty well. So I was like, we're good. Ended up beating them 3-1, honestly pretty dominant. And that's like another monkey off the back, you know. They knocked us out at DreamHack and Salt Lake. So to finally like get over that hump. And on top of that, they talked the most shit out of anyone that's ever beat us.
Yeah.
Which, we like to talk shit too, so I can't hate on them for it. But obviously that felt really good. Beat them for top 6, and then we hadn't looked at the bracket before that. So after we beat TSM, we go and look at the bracket, and like our eyes got big again. We knew we were warmed up, we were playing better. We look at the bracket, we see we have Cloud9 for top 4, and that's another team that we've pretty much been beating all year as well. So yeah.
What was
Go on.
you talk about, like, kind of getting knocked down out of that first round. You guys are expecting to come in and just kind of walk with it like you have been all season.
Mm-hmm.
What was kind of that conversation like, kind of going back that night, or before that next matchup, kind of with the team, and just trying to figure out what you guys needed to do to bounce back? Because I know that had to have been rough, kind of losing that challenge that you thought you guys were going to overcome really easily. They end up kind of knocking you guys down, and then you realize you're going to have to make this losers bracket run to be able to make it to Sunday.
It just came down to we just needed to talk to each other more and just play together. We weren't playing together. We weren't talking to each other. And it just comes down to our thing pretty much all year, if we were playing good or not, was our comms. If we had energy in our comms and if we had intent with our comms, then we were going to play good. And we just didn't have that in that series. So we just got serious, told each other, it's the last event for this year at least. And we got to pick up the comms, guys. Like, it's now or never.
That's fair. I think, I think that's an issue that a lot of teams have, especially after losing. Sometimes they're so focused on the stuff inside the map that they don't really think about stuff outside of the map. And
Exactly.
that's a good pointer to make, that you guys were really focused on the communication aspect, not as much like, we should have won this gunfight, or we should have played this position better, or, you know what I mean? There was a good conversation there.
Looking at the bracket, you're going against these teams that you've won against. I mean, you guys were on a tear. I'm pretty sure you guys and like the mainstream were the main ones we had up on our watch party, because it was good Halo to watch. You know what I mean? Like, you guys were there, you guys were showing. You're going into Sunday, and this is the first time Halo's ever announced on Sundays all series are best of 7s. So at least you're in for a long haul, no matter what. Like, you're in there on Sunday, and you're going against Luminon, which is the previous nemesis. What is your mindset? I mean, that roster has kind of been like the dark horse that's taken out the big names at some point in time, and you guys are going into lower bracket semis against them. What's your mindset going into that?
Honestly, super just like happy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you told me we get to play a team that on paper is like more of like, I feel like people would say like us and them were always like the top 6 like dark horse the entire year. So not having to like play against a team like that instead of a Optic, SR, FaZe, SSG for a top 3, it's a dream come true. And like, don't get me wrong, that's an amazing team and they're there for a reason. But we were definitely like happy to play those guys, and we've beat them before, so we knew that we could. Obviously, I mean, we think we can beat anybody, but they've also beat us, so we knew it was going to be a war. But we were definitely happy to see that matchup.
Is there, out of all the teams there, is there a team you wish you got to play against that you didn't get to?
FaZe, 100%.
Yeah, that was not in the cards for them that day.
I know.
I would have loved to see that matchup too, especially just what FaZe accomplished this year with the chaos they went through. That would have been a really cool matchup. I mean, all your matchups were pretty fire alone. I mean, Cloud9 coming off of map 5 against Optic, and you guys were just a clinical win on that one. Like, everything you guys did was honestly clinical. All the wins out of there, and just congrats again on top 3. I mean, you look at your guys' season, you guys fought for it. And that's my favorite time in Halo is when you see a team that is fighting for it to get there. And you honestly killed it all season long.
Thanks, man. It definitely was a war. It was a ladder to climb.
I'm telling you, especially this year, you guys proved something, and I can only imagine what the future, whatever's going to happen with Halo, if, you know. But to kind of talk about the future, so Envy just announces that you guys aren't technically on the Envy roster anymore. You guys are free agents out there. What does that necessarily mean for you? We still have these Halo events. We have the Invitational at the end of the year at Halo Fest. Like, what does the necessary mean for you moving forward?
Right now, I'm actually dipping my toes into the COD scene a little bit. So, like I said, I grew up a COD kid. So I'm trying to feel it out, try the COD scene. But at my core, honestly, I really do love Halo. And if I do get a good opportunity with a good team, to compete for this next year, I mean, there is 5, 6 events. If I do get a good opportunity, I'll probably have to weigh the options, Also, if COD goes well or doesn't, it's gonna affect my decision. But at the core, man, I love Halo. I love the gameplay. I love everything, the community, all of it. So I mean, in a perfect world, I would love to compete in Halo, but I just don't know what the future holds just yet. I'm gonna Halo, COD. I like Halo a little bit more, but COD is probably a better esport at the moment. So I just take it day by day, man. But I could always go back to Halo and compete at the same level I was, But especially if I have a good team, if I get a good team for this next year, you'll definitely see me up there.
Fair enough. I've actually seen, on Twitter and links being sent out and things. I've been seeing you've been dipping your toes into streaming a little bit more too, right?
Yeah, man. I just, I've always liked to stream and get my gameplay out there, but it's just hard. It's hard to find the time.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I mean, is that even something that you kind of I know you said you do like it. Is that something that you're looking into, kind of getting into more during this off season, during this break, as we're kind of waiting for word on the Halo season, as we're kind of looking towards COD season beginning, that sort of stuff?
Oh, 100%. Always, I'm definitely gonna try and push my gameplay out there more, my POV, because people do gravitate more towards the players that do stream, and they feel like they can connect with them more, or they watch their gameplay and they're like, oh, these guys that stream they're better than people that don't stream because we watch their gameplay, kind of thing,
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of like that.
Look, I mean, we've gotten word from our past few guests that we've had on. I think you actually are the first guest that isn't, primarily related to college Halo. So that's actually really cool. You get to be the first.
Nice.
And since it's kind of, still kind of recent news, I would love to hear your thoughts on that announcement that we got at Worlds. Kind of, I mean, just anything that you kind of thought, whether, any side of the ball you want to go towards with that.
Terrible.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know if they're trying to I don't know what they're trying to do, actually. I can't even get into their head. But the fact that they're releasing a single player campaign when the game is already kind of barely holding on is just mind-boggling, especially after the reception they got with the release of Infinite at the beginning. They had a huge player base at first, and they fucked it up. So just give it another shot, release a multiplayer game, and do it right this time. And you could have, it's a Halo IP. there are millions of Halo fans, and they could just do so well. Like I don't really understand it, but what are we gonna do, man?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we really can't do anything. It really felt like a slap to the face to me to have some, huge announcement like that at Worlds, where we're so excited to be celebrating the multiplayer of Halo, and then they're
Competitive,
just showing
yeah.
off a campaign.
Nah, it was ridiculous. People kept saying like that it was gonna be like a multiplayer. I just kept telling them like, nah, like be prepared to be disappointed. Like I already know. I already know, man.
So, well, here's my thought process is what I tell Ben is it's like a reset on Halo is their mindset, right? Now, I was upset, like it is not, we're not getting a multiplayer thing, right? When Infinite announced it was supposed to be this big 10-year thing, they were like, we're gonna do everything, and we're 5 years in, and they're like, by the way, it's over. But
I don't know.
the reset, this is what I'm hoping they use their brains for. And if they don't, then who knows what's going on. But one thing that Halo's always missed out on is that break from Halo 3 to Halo 4 where you changed companies, right? And you had your your trilogy that was amazing, it was fun. And then you get to Halo 4 and everybody's like, whoa, what's going on? But we'll have a Halo that has everything in it, is my mindset, because they said this campaign evolved is going to have the weapons from Reach. It has sprinting, if they're smart, they'll make a multiplayer experience that officially has everything. I don't know what that does for the sandbox, especially for like you guys, like pro players, whatever conversations you guys have about GAs. Who knows what it does on the sandbox if we have every gun. But I feel like if they just did that and gave us a multiplayer experience with everything, then Halo might actually be able to ramp and be a year after year experience versus this like break that we have now. Well, that's my hope, at least.
Me too, man. I hope they see like the pot of gold they have in front of them and just like do it right.
Speaking of the pot of gold and like doing it right, what is something you want in a future Halo, like that you didn't have an Infinite? Like, is there something that you've missed or been asking for?
Let me think. What's crazy is like a lot of things that I would say like they did eventually add it, but like at the beginning of the game it just wasn't there, like the forge or the theater or just a bunch. Like, let me think though. Like they added firefight, but it wasn't like OG Halo firefight.
You're my favorite guest.
So like maybe more of like an OG firefight experience. Like I remember playing, like, I don't know, was it Reach? It might have been Reach or Halo, but firefight was like one of the funnest things to play. Like it was hardcore. You'd go in with your friends. It was like a co-op experience, and it was hard. So I wish we could just get back to like maybe those sort of things. Definitely more like playlist. Like I didn't like how they like had rotation. I understand why they had rotational playlists because of the player count, but like competitive SWAT or like singles, doubles, OG Halo shit. So I guess stuff like that.
Stuff that makes it feel like you're back at home, makes it feel like you're actually playing Halo. Yeah,
exactly. It took them forever to add a doubles playlist. Like, come on.
Yeah,
that's so true. Man, it's so long. It took like 4 years, I think, until they thought about it. But I think it's that classic. I mean, modernized classic Halo, essentially, right? Like you want to compete, but that's all. They got the book in front of them, and now you just got to modernize it without ruining it. And at least take player feedback, I would imagine. Did you ever get to do stuff like that with 343 or now Halo Studios? Like, would they reach out to you guys or any of the teams and ask for actual feedback?
They definitely asked like the top 4 like teams a lot about like what they should do. but that was probably like a year or two ago. I feel like they haven't really reached out in a while.
I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a rough situation. Well, I would actually love to see. Have you been playing Black Ops 7 at all?
Oh
I was about to go this
yeah,
direction.
I've been grinding, man. Like I actually have my like first scrim after this, so
Oh,
yeah.
are you are you allowed to leak the squad who you're running with, or
I'm just playing with Precision right now. Precision and
okay?
Mental from Complete. He
Yeah.
used to be a
Yeah.
COD professional in like Cold War, and this kid named John Bullseye, who's like a COD kid. So
Okay.
we're just vibing
Okay.
out, seeing how it goes.
I
Fair
can't.
enough.
I'm gonna be watching out for that first cup. See what's up. Let's see if Ethan can take over the scene, and he's got Yak behind him. All right.
Oh yeah, me and Ethan already got that cam. Like Ethan's
Yeah.
a talented kid, so
Yeah, that's exciting. I think this COD, I've been playing it, and to me, I've felt probably the most like going from Halo to this COD. I've felt probably the most easiest transition. I don't know why. I couldn't explain it. I didn't really like Black Ops 6 though, but
me either.
that's it. I mean, if you're liking it, that's exciting. I just felt like this has been the most craziest transition. And I think there's more for challengers this year. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see what that roster can do.
Yes, sir. It's definitely a fun game. We're having a great time like grinding it. So, but there's always parts to me that like I enjoy this game and I like COD, but like, dude, there's just something about Halo. Like Halo has crack in it, man. Like, just like
It's got a
the way
different
you can
dopamine. It's
outplay.
got a
Yes, the way you can outplay
little
people in
different.
Halo. But I mean, that could also be because I was like one of the best players in the game. So whenever you're shitting on everyone, it's like you're gonna have a good
Yeah.
time.
That is true. That is true. When you're me in like low Onyx lobbies, you're not having a good time.
Oh shit.
It's definitely one of those things. I mean, the experience that I've had in like COD compared to Halo, like when I'm playing Onyx rank and I'm getting queued against Formal, my excitement is the fact that I pimped him. That like
Yes.
so like I'm nowhere near a pro level, but I get up there in Onyx where I can actually play against guys like you, Formal, and everybody, and I still have fun. Where like in COD, I feel like I always have to stay cracked out, like in it, and then I'm like, oh god, it's just there's something about Halo that just makes it so much more enjoyable to be in the moment, competing, grinding. That I don't know if I'm gonna get this year with COD. I'll see when rank comes out and if I want to play in challengers, but something always brings me back to Halo. I couldn't explain it. I really couldn't.
I agree, man. I agree.
And you
Look,
look about, oh yeah, there it is.
no. Dude, I don't know why my camera hates me. My camera hates me. It's been blurry the whole episode. It's just how it is. Look, wait, it's coming back. Maybe not. Okay, all right. Look, we're good. I know you kind of you did give us your squad right now, and I was gonna ask before you said something, and then we got to actually hear who your squad is. But if you can't say this, it's cool. I don't want to mess you up with the squad you're running with. But is there a player, or maybe like a squad that you know of that's looking for a player, or maybe at some point is there somebody out there you're kind of wishing you could team with if there's a chance or an opportunity?
For Halo or COD?
Either.
I mean,
I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I don't want to mess you up. Don't.
There's obviously players I would love to team with, but I want to team with people that want to team with me. If that makes sense.
That's fair.
Because I can be. I feel like I'm a good teammate, but I can be a little hard to team with because I'm like a perfectionist. So, everyone's like, they're about vibes or like they're vibing, having a good time, and I'm kind of like, let's lock in. Let's lock in right here.
I respect that though.
We're like slamming someone, and I'm like, we could have did this better though, and they're like, oh my god, dude, we just slammed them. I'm like, yeah, but we kind of like we kind of trolled here, like we can improve this. So
We just
I
beat them
definitely
250 to 10 in a hard point, and he's like, "Nah, we could have gone 250 to 9 though." Like,
so,
like
so yeah, I want to team with like whoever wants to team with me, honestly. And I feel like I've gotten my name. People know the talent is there and whatnot, but I'll give you one player. One player I would love to team with is probably like I'd say Zane Penguin in
Yeah.
Halo. I would love to team with Penguin. He's a cool guy. We kind of became friends over the past year and a half. Outside the game, in the game, we'd always grind matchmaking, and I just like the way he thinks about the game. He's pure Halo, been around the scene a long time. Always would give me tips, even though he's on phase. He was on phase, and he would always like help me get better at the game still, which was a lot of people aren't gonna do that. So yeah, I enjoy playing with Zane a lot.
Right, you
that's a
heard
good
it here.
answer, right?
Heard it here first. Let's make this happen. That is actually like you don't see that a lot, especially with how esports is now. A lot, not saying everybody's like gatekeeper in a sense, but a lot of people aren't on the bandwagon of you're all in the same league, right? You can still co-mingle outside the game and outside your scrims. A lot of people have that fine line where they can't pick or choose. Like, do I help
Yep.
this guy? Do I, whatever. But yeah, Penguin's a really good answer, especially just his past 2 years. I mean, the roller coaster on phase, the experience he had at Optic, he's probably got a lot to teach.
Oh, dude, he's an insanely smart guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can see that in his gameplay, just how I feel like he's one of those guys where you don't really see. I mean, yeah, of course he makes big plays, but he's not one of those like clip farmer type players. I feel like he's always kind of like the field general. He's keeping the map. He knows what's going on at all times. He's moving players where he needs them to be.
He's never gonna like make a bad play, and he's always gonna like pick up what needs to be picked up. Pick up the right stuff, look at the right stuff, calm the right stuff. I mean, there's a reason he, until the very last event of Halo Infinite, never placed outside the top 3, which is insane, by the way. Like,
Yeah, that is.
in a game that is as close as Halo and as hard to play, and to never like slip up once until like the very end, which is actually insane. Like, to never slip up until the very end, that's gotta feel terrible, but that's an insane accomplishment. And like, I mean, everyone slips up once, like all those players at least once. So the fact that he didn't, that just says something about him and his preparation and his consistency.
That is true. That is true. Look, I don't know, Banksy. Banksy may have a bunch more to talk about, but I always like to kind of, as we start to get to the end, jump in, because most of the time when we're talking to people, we're the whole time, just like now, we're talking about gameplay. We're talking about your path through playing and everything like this. But I always love to get to know our guests kind of on a deeper level of just who you are. So just like give us like a hobby outside of gaming, or something that you love to do, just in your free time, or when you're just trying to relax and just get away from everything.
Honestly, not much, man. Like,
Okay.
this past like 2-3 years has been such a grind on this Halo journey, that a lot, and like scrimming every single day, it really is a full-time job. I know people laugh and say like, oh, gaming isn't like hard as a job or whatever, but dude, we'd scrim for 5 hours and then sit in VOD for 2. Like, we're putting in 7-hour shifts, and then we're playing matchmaking or 8s after that. So obviously it's like something we love to do, and it's not that hard. But I guess to say outside of that, I just like spending time with my family when I can. Spending time with my family, my girlfriend, and my friends. Whenever I get like a day off, I'll just either go eat with them or just chill, honestly. I like to travel too. Whenever I have a chance to travel with the fam, that's probably my biggest hobby, traveling.
I like that. That's actually a really good answer.
Yeah,
Shoot, you said, yeah. I mean,
a lot of people don't. You bring up the job aspect, right? And you're right. A lot of people look at it, they're like, it's not a job. You know, you're just playing video game. That's their perspective on it. But it's just like any other sport. You know what I mean? You're in there to learn, to experience, to get better. You have the resume to prove it right off rip. I mean, that it is a thing. Like you put that work in, and you will improve, and it is a job. It's just it may be it's actually probably one of the busiest jobs, honestly. Like
Yeah.
I can't put it past any professional esports. I mean, even doing what me and Ben are doing as like a hobby and meeting all these people and like networking, it's a job. And I actually love that you said you've been grinding this long, this many years, and bringing light to it. You can't undersell what you've done at all. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And kudos to being like spending time with your family. A lot of people think esports players remove that part just to quote unquote get better, but you got to have that side where it's like
support system. Yeah.
Yeah. Did for Worlds was the whole fam there?
Unfortunately, not. But they might go to Birmingham if I do continue to compete. So.
okay, fair
That'd be
enough.
cool.
Fair enough.
I like that. Seattle is set for Seattle was weird for us to get to, especially right after Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I was actually kind of shocked to see how many people were at Seattle this year. I have one last question.
Okay.
But and it's now, and this is all players, all history. Everybody you've experienced. If you were to make yourself a god squad,
Okay.
you're the fourth player. You make a god squad. Who are your three? And it could be from any era, right? Like Pistola, Ogre 2, like that
Okay.
kind of any era. If you were to make a god squad with you as the fourth, who would it be?
I'm definitely picking up Lethal, and then I'm gonna pick up. Let's see, Lethal, and then I'm just gonna pick up like PJ in his prime, like Snakebite in his prime.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you know what? To quote Frosty, like it's not a god squad without Frosty. So I'm probably just picking up Brad.
That's actually a nasty squad. I feel like that would be kind of
Yeah,
gross.
that would be.
Dude, it's just like Tox without fucking Royal 2. I'll just play Royal 2.
Actually,
Yeah. I mean that's so true. I mean now Frosty, Frosty and Royal 2 have obviously solidified themselves as probably the best Halo competitors right now. But that squad, yeah, that would be a nasty squad. Let's make it happen. Let's
We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, dude, like I said, I can't say it enough. Congratulations on what you've accomplished, and I hope that Halo Studios gets into gear and announces something, or at least I hope in this COD journey that you get something thrown at you, right? That would be awesome. But Ben, do you have another question?
Nah, man, we gotta let him shout out though. We gotta
yeah.
Anything, if you want to shout out your socials or your Twitch, whatever it may be, anybody out there who you want to shout out.
Just my X is just Yakzn, my gamer tag, and my Twitch is the same. And yeah, just shout out the people who support me. Thank you very much. Thank you guys.
Dude,
yeah, man. Well, I mean, we appreciate you being on. It means the world to us. We've been trying to get this thing together since Charlotte Major. So it's been something in the process for a while now. So
yes, sir.
This man rolls up at 2 a.m. and goes, "I got Yak."
Let's go.
And I was like, "What?" The one night we're all just doing our own thing, and what a night to bring up to this. But we like he said, everybody go follow him on Twitter, Go follow his Twitch, show the love, and honestly, keep the grind up, keep improving. Whatever journey it takes you, kill it. We will. The links will be in the description and everything, so nobody will be lost when they try to spell your name just from listening to it. Because I'm pretty sure Ben tried to correct me one time on how to spell your gamer tag, and I had to prove him wrong.
Now I know.
But yeah, I mean, it's been an honor, and I hope that maybe we can do it again when you're world champ.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
That would be great. Yeah. Hey, and either way, COD or Halo, I hear both will be at the Atlanta DreamHack, so we'll see you then.
So I have to pick a side here shortly.
All right, Ben, send us off.
All right, we appreciate you guys as always for locking in another week with us. Once again, a huge shout out to Yak for hopping in with us this week, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.